I'm Alex West, Saltwater Sportsman Senior Editor, and this is Rigger's Notebook. If you've ever been fishing inshore with a popping cork and had to crank it back in, you probably noticed if it's a weighted popping cork, the oil style, it actually has a built-in swimming action that's actually very, very seductive. So I came up with a simple system with 6 popping corks, the weighted style, the old classics, and interconnecting them so that you can actually tow or troll a daisy chain. The first thing we got to do is we're going to rig one of the popping corks. In order to rig up all 6 of those, you're going to cut pieces of 80-pound test. You want them to be 12 inches long. So we're going to measure 12 inches, which is right about here. Cut it. And the first thing we're going to do, put a loop on the end using a crimp. This is going to go at the very end of the popping cork. And the last thing we're going to need is going to be a few plastic beads. We'll thread it through the leader, and now going through the popping cork over to the other side. Now we're going to take another crimp, and this time we're going to take one of the snap swivels, the smaller ones, and attach it at the open tag end, also with a crimp. And that's how we're going to attach each individual popping cork to the rest of the leader to create our entire daisy chain teaser. And now just crimp it. And that's essentially all you need for each one of these. So I've already pre-rigged the others exactly the same fashion. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to take your 150-pound leader and cut it in 6 sections of 18 inches. And we are going to connect each one of these 18-inch pieces, joining each one of those 18-inch sections with a swivel. Here's the swivel. Put it through the sleeve. Crimp it tight. And we're going to continue with the other sections. And for the sake of time, I pre-rigged some of the other sections. You'll be able to see that here is one segment, and here's the second swivel. The next segment, here's the next swivel, and so on until the very end of my leader. So now, one more swivel, crimp it in place, and essentially we have all the swivels that we need now to attach the 6 popping corks. But we're going to finish off the leader by adding one last section that's 30 inches long, and to that one we're going to attach the big snap swivel that's going to help us to basically attach it to our teaser line. So I've got my snap. I'm going to take the 150-pound leader, measure 30 inches, flip that. Here goes the big snap on one side, crimp it in place, and one more. And this end we're going to attach to the rest of the leader, to basically the last swivel. And we crimp this one as well. So now we have our big snap that attaches to your teaser line. If you have a teaser reel, dedicated teaser reel on your boat, that one is usually coming off of one of the short riggers. And here's the rest of the sections, each one with a swivel. And so we're going to start at the very end, and we're going to take each one of the popping corks. As I mentioned, you've got an individual snap for each one of them, and just attach it to each one of the swivels. That's one. And as you keep going up the line, make sure that you are attaching the snap to the bottom eye of the swivel. That's 2, 3, 4. And if you want to have more than 6 popping corks in your daisy chain, you can do that, but I find that 6 is pretty manageable. So this is where you attach it to your teaser line, and here's what the rest of the daisy chain essentially looks like. And if you see what this looks like in the back of the boat when you're trolling, you won't believe it. It's fantastic. It's definitely going to raise some billfish for you.